to be here. No, it's.
No, I just moved your fat head around.
I need to get my phone fixed on this.
Already, guys?
Almost fast. I wish I had another phone.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. Yeah, you want to wait for that one? 2 minutes.
Well, you gotta ask the people. What you gonna say?
You want live? She got ready, Jay. Yeah, I will live.
Go say. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take it. All right.
Mic check 1 2. Trick check 1 2.
Bro. Chill.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. Start writing zeros up.
What am I getting?
I'm going to give it to you.
10 seconds, baby.
Wait, hold on, Coach. I think they're going to come on and introduce us. All right, let you know.
All right, y'all about to start.
Thank you. I'm good. Not really. I didn't really think I was gonna play football until this all started happening. So the recruiting process, it's been long. I'm just finally glad to get it over with. That's really all. Yeah, that's really it. That's all I can say. Oh, it's just each school got their own unique thing about them. Like Georgia, it's Georgia first of all. It's a great school. You can't go wrong. They produce D-line talent. Michigan, Coach Elsing is a great D-line coach. We've been talking ever since last year, and I feel like we had a great connection since then. South Carolina, obviously, they're home school. You can never go wrong with South Carolina. I think Coach Booth is doing something big over there. And Florida, I don't have a hat on the table, but Coach Spence is a great D-line coach. Somebody I'll definitely play for. Thank you.
First off, I want to start off by thanking God for everything that He had blessed me with and put me on earth to do. I'm truly thankful. Second, I would thank my parents for all the countless times they helped me and gave me advice to better mature and help me later on in life. Last but not least, I want to thank my coaches for always being there to save, help, or get me out of trouble when I needed it. And thank you for trying to prepare me for the next level and for giving me so much good advice that I will use as I go. I'm very thankful. I also want to thank my true supporters and the people who always had my back and helped me from day one to make this happen. And thank you to everyone who came to watch where I will take my next big step in life. With that being said, I am proud to say I'll be committed to university.
University.
South Carolina. It was really just based on all the other recruits they were getting. Some recruits like Marky Anderson and Monica Reyes. I feel like those guys stay the same, big talents, blue chip players just like me. And I feel like when we stay in the state, I feel like we can build a program together. Yeah, it was very close. Hard saying no to Georgia. Georgia's a great school. So it's hard. It came down to me. It was close to Georgia. I feel like since Coach Beasley been there, everything he said that he was going to do, it came true. He led him to a bowl game this year. I feel like next year he's going to progress and lead him into a good season, probably 8-4. And I feel like from there he's going to progress. First of all, Coach Beasley, I think he's a great guy, all-around defensive coach. I think he's going to take care of me in the long run. He told me to trust him, and that's what I'm doing. I put my trust in him. Really, being home, it doesn't play a part like going anywhere else. I feel like being in a shorter radius, I feel like that's better. South Carolina, I feel like they needed me, and I feel like we're doing good things.
Chris Clark here. Bringing you in on the tail end
Chris,
here,
I might be
the
able to get us a live interview here.
Xzavier McLeod commitment, and We've got Wes Mitchell here still on the line. Wes is going to effort a potential interview with new Gamecock football 4-star defensive tackle commitment Xzavier McLeod, who, of course, has just snapped on a clean white Gamecock hat there on the field at Camden High School, surrounded by his family. Wes Mitchell from GamecockCentral.com, of course, is on site for coverage. Try to give you guys nothing but the best at GamecockCentral.com, so we appreciate you hanging in. Y'all are pumped up for this announcement. The numbers were absolutely insane for this one. I think we had
Hey, Chris,
700
if you can hear me, I think we're about to get a live interview with Zay. That's what we're efforting anyway, if we can do this seamlessly. I'm not going to cut off. We're just going to try to go straight to him. Y'all know how these things are. We're going to do our best here, though.
All right, we're going to try to effort a live interview with Zay.
Coach Jesus.
From Wes, so I'm going to shoot it back over to him for just a few minutes so he can try to get that. No, hang tight.
Can you get us 2 minutes? We'll knock him out real fast.
They won't leave you alone, will they?
That's so many levels I can't. There it is. Dang, that's the 247.
I get first question.
Call.
Zay,
Am I talking?
all of us at once. So Zay, obviously you got the big announcement out of the way. We couldn't necessarily hear everything you said to them. So how does it feel, and why the Gamecocks, man?
It feels great. Just knowing that I'm getting this out of the way and deciding now, I feel like it's just going to relieve some pressure on me during the season. I feel like I can play my game now, and I think I can take it from there.
Okay, all right. It was an uneventful news conference, but how dramatic was it behind the scenes, the decision going back and forth?
It was a hard choice. It was very dramatic. Talking to Coach Kirby and Coach Scott before the decision, just wanted to let them know that I'm glad they recruited me, and I'm very thankful for that. And now I'm just ready to get ready for season.
Why South Carolina?
So, of course, Coach Beamer's building something. I feel like he's got something going on in Columbia. I want to be a part of it. I want to build on the program, and I want to go to a championship.
When did you know?
About approximately probably 11 o'clock last night. I think I knew. I called Coach Beamer up. I told him I called Coach Beamer.
What about Coach Beamer's program had you kind of sold?
Really how he was just getting other blue chip players in the state. And how they was going to stay home, how they were going to help the program. And I feel like with me being another big time player, I feel like on the defensive line, they can really use me, and I feel like I can do something there.
What were you bringing to that program?
With me being fast, physical off the ball, I feel like I can bring a lot of things. I got good handwork, which will progress and get better. I feel like that's one of them. Like I said, I'm quick off the ball. I can get to the backfield quick. I feel like that's some key things I bring.
I know Carolina's closer, but Georgia's the defending national champion, so this could not have been an easy call.
It was not. It was not an easy call. Yeah, I feel at the end of the day, I feel like South Carolina is somewhere I can build. I can progress and do great things. Georgia, like I said, we're defending champ. I'm still gonna keep on track with them. I'm still gonna go to the games.
And you go see them at least once a year.
At least once a year.
Who's your main recruiter in
South Carolina.
Your chief recruiter.
I would say Coach Lindsay.
Just obviously he's a Sarah guy, so he kind of knows the territory out here in Camden. What does he talk to you about? What he expects out of you once you're on Camden?
He's really ready for me to go to work. He said he's going to take care of me, and he just wants me to take care of him back just by coming on the field and just giving him all.
Xzavier, what players have you been in contact with during this process? Like, who on the team have you kind of been
On the South Carolina team?
Yeah, like one of
it varies from all position groups. I've been as a quarterback, O-lineman, D-lineman, so it varies all.
You've obviously got a relationship with Gigi. Just, when did you tell him?
I haven't told him actually, but they had a clue. They had a kind of
Just relationship. I mean, two big time players, one in South Carolina. It's kind of a neat deal.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's a neat deal. Me and Gigi have been together since middle school. And I'm ready to go there.
mentioned wanting to get this decision out of the way before the season starts. What are goals for the season?
Really, like I said, focus, lock in. I want to win Mr. Football, of course. I think I got a chance. Got a shot at that. And just play my game, get rank up in tackles, sacks, and do that.
And how from freshman year to now do you think you've developed your game?
Tremendously. A couple years ago, I wasn't using my hands like I wasn't putting my hands on guys. I feel like it progressed more than what it's doing now. And I feel like that's it. And chasing guys over a certain period of time, like downfield.
Do you think South Carolina will give you a better chance to start than Georgia?
What the coach has been telling me, if I come in to work at any program, I can start. At any program, I can make a difference.
Awesome. Congratulations, man.
Hey, 3 of the top 4 guys in the state of South Carolina all committed to the Gamecocks. What does it mean to have Marquis and Montague in the same class as you, man?
It's a great deal. Like I said, big-time blue-chip players. Montague, of course, can be on the same side of the ball with me. We can go wreak havoc on that side of the ball. And then Marquis Anderson will be on the other side. So blocking. So they won't score. So I think it's going to be a big time.
Final thing for me, Coach Beamer, what was his reaction when you told him last night that you were definitely going to be a Gamecock?
He was at home. He was ecstatic. His kids were asleep, but he still yelled. So, he was happy. He was very happy.
Just outside of the program in general, what about the school of USC impressed you when you were in this process?
Really?
Yeah, just like about the school. Like, what about the school impressed you when you were making the decision?
Oh, what impressed me? I like the atmosphere in Columbia. There's something about the atmosphere in Columbia that really does something person on game days. And then it's the people that you're playing for. They stand up for you, they take up for you. And I've seen that a little bit over the course before I committed, and that really helped.
And you were just talking a second ago about some of the things you look to improve on and things like that. But what about your game currently do you feel like really, I guess, stands out? Like, what do you feel like are the best aspects of your game right now?
Being fast and physical. Being a big guy in my size and moving as quick as I do, a lot of coaches tell me that's impressive. They can't really find guys that can be big and move quick. It's either one or the other.
And what's something when you get into campus that you're looking forward to? Something that, I don't know if it's a campus tradition or just something in general that interests you. Like, what are you looking forward to doing?
Really what I'm looking for? Really just getting to work. I'm not ready for whatever they call freshman orientation when they make the players they're themselves in front of people. That's one thing I'm not ready.
Did you say earlier you're going to still go to Georgia games and stuff, or
yeah,
just talking about playing?
Coach Sherby and them said they were still going to stay with me. I'm fully 100% committed to Carolina.
Yeah.
But commitment still open. Recruit still open. So
yeah. I mean, that's the SEC. I guess Kirby Smart's going to still come after you if he likes you, right?
Yeah, he said he's going to come after me. I'm invited to the game. So
yeah. And you mentioned Coach Lindsey and him being the primary recruiter. What is it about him that you noticed from and stuff like that?
Really, his coaching style is
Thanks, Zay. Appreciate you, man. Congrats.
Real quick, I wanted to ask if you still have the hat around, if I can take pictures of you right now.
All right, Chris, I'm gonna toss this back to you, man. Signing out from Camden.
All right, Wes, appreciate you. That's Wes Mitchell, live from Camden, South Carolina. And so South Carolina adding 4-star defensive tackle Xzavier McLeod. If you didn't catch all of his comments on there, I know at times, there's music playing, there's people around. You're subject to Wi-Fi outside there. If you didn't catch all of it, we'll have more on GamecockCentral.com throughout tonight, the next couple days, I'm sure. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to the stream tonight. Again, Xzavier McLeod, 4-star defensive tackle out of Camden, giving the Gamecocks another 4-star addition from in the state. As Wes mentioned in his question there to Zay, 3 of the top 4 players, all on 3 consensus 4-star players: Montague Rames, Marquis Anderson, offensive line, and now Xzavier McLeod at Camden. I'm going to have to double check with Wes on what McLeod said about Georgia. We know that Georgia was a very close second in this race. They made it tough. Stands to reason that they're going to continue coming after him. And I think there was a mention there that he may travel around to some other games this season as well, not only at South Carolina, which certainly would not be a surprise. So that is recruiting. As we know, recruiting battles, big-time recruiting battles, they're frequently a battle up until the end, and then you can continue having a battle even after you get a guy in the boat. So that could be the case with Xzavier McLeod, but for tonight, South Carolina can certainly celebrate. Shane Beamer sending out a celebratory tweet on that one. Lots of excitement in Gamecock Nation. You guys are really tuned up to watch this stream. Like I said earlier, I think about 700-800 people on this stream at one time across all platforms earlier, which is pretty tremendous. So appreciate everyone tuning in. Want to let you know what we got on GamecockCentral.com right now. It has been an extremely busy news day. We got some news on Pat DeMarco moving into a different role in Gamecock football. We got more on former Gamecock assistant and former Clemson head baseball coach Monty Lee heading back to the program. We've got an insider report today. The Insiders Forum is absolutely popping, the premium members-only forum on GamecockCentral.com. We would absolutely love to have you. We appreciate so much everybody's support, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, wherever, however you found us, whether you're here, whether you've never visited our site at GamecockCentral.com. We really, really are glad that we have you. We do have more from McLeod. We've got a story, of course, on his commitment. We've got another story that has some quotes from him. We'll have more from Wes's trip out to Camden later. And we've also got a video breakdown just posted on GamecockCentral.com from Mike Yuva, a very popular piece among our subscribers. So, again, really appreciate everybody. Big news for tonight. 4-star DT Xzavier McLeod committing to the Gamecocks. It gives South Carolina 18 commitments in the 2023 recruiting class. Current national rank for that, by the way, according to the On3 consensus team rankings, 20th in the country. That gives them, I believe, a total of 8 4-star commitments. You got Marquis Anderson, Xzavier McLeod, Grayson Howard, Dontavius Bradswell, Tree Babalade, Montague Rames, Trovon Ball, and Kelton Henderson out of Florida. Those are your 8. 8 4-star commitments out of a total of 18 in the class. On3 has a blue chip ratio, they call it. That is now at 41%. That's a 4-star over. So, again, South Carolina doing pretty well for themselves in the state of South Carolina this year with Xzavier McLeod. He's right behind Marquis Anderson out of Dorman as the highest ranked prospect in South Carolina's 2023 recruiting class. On3 consensus has him. Sorry if I'm looking away. I'm looking at another screen here. You've got a 4-star prospect, number 189 nationally, number 3 in the state, according to the On3 consensus, and the 24th defensive tackle in the country. That's Xzavier McLeod. About 6'4.5", 325 pounds is where he's listed. Gamecocks beating out Georgia, LSU, Michigan, Florida, a bunch of other programs. Really substantial offer list. Hey, anybody else on the stream, if you got anything you want to throw my way, the numbers are still so good that I feel like I shouldn't get off quite yet. Feel like maybe I'll stay on here. If anybody has any questions these last couple minutes, go ahead and throw them in the chat on YouTube, and I'll be glad to let you know. By the way, tell you real quick, big shout out and thanks to Clint Hammond of the Mortgage Network for sponsoring all of our streaming content. He makes it happen. Anybody that enjoys all our streaming content, check out Clint. NMLS number 71597, Hammond at mortgagenetwork.com. If you got any mortgage needs, make sure you check them out. And we also, of course, appreciate the fine folks at Liberty Tax. Larry and his team do an outstanding job there. Make sure you give Liberty Tax a call. Let's see. We got some questions here. Am I back for good now from SC Scout Guy? What's up, SC Scout Guy? Good to see you. Yes, I'm back. Here I am indeed. Back in action at GamecockCentral.com, and it has been an absolute blast a lot to celebrate lately. Busy day, gearing up for the Gamecock Central preseason kickoff party at Steel Hands Brewing, presented by 1801 Venture Club. That'll take place on Saturday. Anybody who's in town, come on out. Free party. Looking forward to seeing y'all. Great to hear from you, SC Scout Guy. Always enjoy hearing you and seeing you. Butch McLaughlin, I thought Howard was a 4-star. Yeah, I think I got him, Butch, in that list. Grayson Howard, Marky Anderson, Xzavier McLeod, Grayson Howard, Dontavius Braswell, Tree Babalade, Montague Rames, Trovon Ball, and Kelton Henderson. That's the 2023 4-star prospects in the class. Yeah, y'all running through some questions. Keith from YouTube. What's up, Keith? Any updates on 2023 wide receivers? Actually, Keith, I'm going to give a shameless plug. I will give you a little bit of an answer here. If you're not already on, I would love to have you on GamecockCentral.com. I actually published an insider report this morning with a little bit more information on the receiver front. To be determined there. Still a couple irons in the fire, but there's not a guy that you could point to and go, okay, that's somebody that, South Carolina is going to definitely land, or here's 2 or 3 guys that are in great position for. I think could see some things happen during the season, some more targets emerge of big senior years. You see that happen sometimes. Also watch the transfer portal for South Carolina. Of course, they brought in Juice Wells and Corey Rucker for the transfer portal this past season. Brought in a total of 9 scholarship guys in total from the transfer portal. So could be a position that you look for some more transfers at wide receiver. Frederick Cooper, do you think the Gamecocks get 2 of the last 3 D-line prospects? Let's see who you might be talking about there. Desmond Yu, I assume. Desmond Umeozulu from Maryland. Maybe you're counting Nicholas Harbor from D.C., and there might be one that I'm totally blanking on right now. South Carolina in the game there, both of those guys. Desmond Yu announces later this month. Also updates on both of those guys in the insider report for our members there this morning. Harbor, Gamecocks are in line to get an official visit, which is, competition stiff, but that's where you want to be. Billy Raymond, who's next? Not really clear, except for Desmond Umeozulu, who I just referenced, the 4-star out of Maryland, has an announcement scheduled on August 29th, and South Carolina battling Ohio State there. Frederick Cooper, talking about Desmond or Xavier Hardy is the 3rd D lineman. You're exactly right. That one did slip my mind. Xavier Hardy out of Georgia. That's another one South Carolina has a very solid shot with. Nicholas Harbor choosing South Carolina for an official visit. Yeah, reported this morning that South Carolina appeared to be in line, and after that, it looks like Steve Wiltfong reported that Gamecocks are going to get one the weekend of the Georgia game. And so that's certainly an expected but very positive development. Of course, doesn't mean South Carolina's in the lead. They're one of 7 schools, but Harbor's visited last summer. He visited this summer. And now South Carolina's set to get him back. So for a guy of his caliber, getting him on campus, this will be his first actual game experience in Williams-Brice Stadium. Will be, a positive thing there. Alex Heil, how many more recruits are on the radar? There's a bunch. I think expect South Carolina is going to probably sign a full class. I think they've got 18, so the numbers will slow down. They'll bring in some guys for officials this year, and then after the season, guys, it's portal time, and I think there'll be some portal guys at certain positions, to watch there. Danny Bevel asks do you think McLeod will stay committed to USC? I think we're going to have some thoughts on that on GamecockCentral.com and probably on GC Live with myself and Wes Mitchell over the next few days. I think South Carolina obviously has a great shot to hang on to him. But again, if it's a recruiting battle, and if Georgia decides they want a kid, which they did here, and if they decide they want to continue recruiting him, which indications are they will, if McLeod is open to taking other visits, which seems like he is, always something to watch, always something to track. So, something to watch there. So, again, for those of you still on with us, appreciate you very much for joining in on the stream tonight. We do have a lot going on. Got to get back to the computer here to push out some more content on GamecockCentral.com. We got a bunch. Again, we got 2 different stories on McLeod, including some quotes for him already. So, as soon as I log off here, get on your phone, get on your tablet, get on your computer, type in GamecockCentral.com. Go there. Please check out all our content. We're so appreciative. Y'all, the cool thing, we would not have GamecockCentral.com without you guys. We literally, Wes and I wouldn't have jobs. Speaking of Wes, look at this. Here he is.
What's up, guys? Can you still hear me?
We can. Wes, you probably didn't realize what a whirlwind. You probably didn't even realize I was still on.
No, I didn't.
And here I am.
Called
and
you.
Then,
you didn't answer. And then I figured you are still on. So then I was like,
how
maybe there's
rude
a
of
lot
me.
of people on there that I was like, I might just hop back on and see what everybody was doing.
Oh, exactly. We're just hanging out, man. I was actually thinking about letting the people go, which is pretty sad because we still have a huge crowd on here.
See, I can't see the number because I'm not logged in. So is
We
there
have
a
a
lot
number.
of people?
Yeah, man. We're not shy about giving away our numbers here. I mean, right now we got 240 across all platforms, and I'll tell you, when you were setting up for Xavier's announcement right before he started, we got up to 775, something like that. So Gamecock fans were tuned up and tuned in for this one.
Yeah, it sounds like it, man. And look, hey, announcement. How about this? Check mark announcement on time. I know the fans always appreciate that because they're not complaining in the chat about, hey, when's this thing gonna start? When's this thing gonna start?
No doubt.
And no drama with the actual decision. I spoke to Zay as y'all saw that on the stream as well. But I thought it was kind of interesting, man. There were some people kind of coming up to him after because we've heard this thing was like close down the stretch, man. Like probably far closer than any Gamecock fan wanted it to be. But that was the word I got. Very, very close down the stretch. Georgia made their big final push earlier this week, and he really didn't lock it into South Carolina until last night. Called Shane Beamer, and some people were coming up like off camera, like, "Hey Zay, how do you feel now that the decision's made? Like, you happy with it? You good?" And and he was grinning, he was smiling. He's like, "Yeah, I'm fine, I'm good." Like it seemed like it was kind of a weight off the world, or weight the world off his shoulders situation, and sometimes you never know. Maybe a guy makes a decision and then he's like, did I just make the wrong decision? He seemed at peace with it. But, hey, if we're going to tell the whole story, also, he did mention, y'all heard it if you were tuned in earlier. He said, probably gonna drop by Georgia at some point. At the same time, he did tell me, Chris, off air, I talked to him briefly. He said he would probably not be in Columbia for the Georgia State game, but he said that he is planning to be in Columbia at USC for the South Carolina-Georgia game, as you would expect. And he even said, he said, I don't know if South Carolina will beat Georgia, but he thinks South Carolina will be very prepared and in a position to compete with Georgia in that game. So I thought that was interesting. I assumed he would be at that game, and he confirmed he absolutely will be in Columbia for that.
Yeah, and I think this one, Wes, no surprise that Xavier may take some other visits, namely to Georgia. I mean, I think that was anticipated. That's not something, not that it's not worrisome, where fans go, okay, we're going to have to keep tracking this. You and I are, I think, in agreement that, okay, we're going to have to keep tracking this. But I think we kind of knew that, right? Leading up to this announcement, how the recruitment's gone, how close it was, at the end. And something I was saying earlier before you came back on was if you want big recruiting battles, this is part of it. This happens everywhere. If you want to, and I'm not saying South Carolina is there or even will get there, right? No, y'all don't go tweeting out that Chris said this, but if you want to recruit like Bama or like a top program in the country, pick your team. They lose guys. Glass flip from them. They have very close recruiting battles where sometimes they don't know where the heck a guy is going up until the night before, the day of an announcement. And then they have guys commit and go take other visits and they have to hang on for dear life, and that is ultimately you want to be able to have to recruit to get guys to your school.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as easy as just go recruit a guy you think you can get committed and stay committed, and it's all easy. With big time recruiting, it's not easy.
Yeah, those big boy recruiting battles we talk about, man. Sometimes the better the player, the bigger the battle, and these kids are under a lot of pressure when those things happen. And these coaches, to be honest, man, these coaches are good at selling their program. So, a kid may think, oh, this is where I'm going. Then coach has one little extra pitch, involved. And then, the final week, I think it's always interesting, man, when guys sort of set that commit date, and it's not even a true, it's not like a true deadline, but they set it for themselves. And a lot of times it's because they just want to be done with the process. In this case, Camden's got a big game tomorrow against Myrtle Beach. I think he kind of set that deadline for himself, be done with the process by the season. But then the coaches know what the deadline is too. So they're pulling out all the stops. So I think those recruitments are a little bit closer when there's like a finish line, that all coaches know where the finish line is. When a guy just, I'm ready, and then the welcome home goes out and Chris and I start scrambling, like, all right, who committed? Who do we need to get ready to, get an article ready for? Those guys are usually pretty like, all right, I know where I want to go. In this case, it's kind of like, all right, I just want to have a decision, but maybe I don't know, and there's still some jockeying. It was very intriguing to me, though, man. We could probably go all the way back to some of the first stuff we wrote about Xzavier McLeod, and all the way back in our Rivals days. And I dare say it probably said South Carolina is a favorite and Georgia's their biggest competition. And, Chris, it kind of winded around. This recruitment took itself all the way out to Texas. It took itself to LSU. This recruitment took a brief stay, I think maybe even in Michigan or Florida. And it ultimately, there was that, you remember that quote to Phil Kornblut. I kind of think, paraphrasing, want to go out of state, right? Like I'm heavily considering out of state. And interestingly enough, Chris, it came all the way back around to these two, which South Carolina was the first major school to offer Xzavier McLeod, while Will Muschamp, who's now at Georgia, was the head coach. So just kind of interesting how full circle this thing went before it ultimately landed with him committing to Jimmy Lindsey, Shane Beamer, and the Gamecocks here this week.
Yep. The little, the stronger, longer kind of corollary or whatever you want to call it there.
Yep. For both of them. Yeah. And again, as you said earlier, based on Zay's comments and just based on every kind of piece of information here, they'll have to continue recruiting them. Not going to be able to, rest on your laurels here. There'll be some more twists and turns. Just let's go ahead and set the table for everybody. Yeah.
Mentally prepare yourselves if you need such things. It is going to happen. He's going to take some more visits. Philly fan, GC's great content. Thank you so much. Hey, I was just telling the folks, Wes, lots of content, Xzavier McLeod related already on GamecockCentral.com. We got some quotes from you on a live interview, which was awesome. We also have some quotes from Chad Simmons of On 3 from McLeod on GamecockCentral.com. We've got another commitment story with more information and a video breakdown from Mike Uva. So several content pieces already, more to come. Appreciate you making the trip over to Camden and streaming for the folks. Lots of people were giving you kudos. So
okay, good. I was kind of flying blind, y'all. Like this StreamYard, the technology is amazing. Like
it is.
But also you're flying blind. You can't really, I could see text popping up, but I couldn't respond to them. So I was just praying that y'all could see and y'all could, and he didn't have the mic when he was first doing the interview with the other stream. And so I was like, man, they can't hear this, but then he did pick up the mic for the actual decision and we got the interview there at the end. So I'm happy, man. I be on the lookout, everybody, inside the commitment. It's going to be a good one.
Ooh, here we
Make
go.
y'all wait on that one. It's been a busy day. I got to put the finishing touches on that. But yeah, that was fun. We're gonna have to do this setup again for some future commitments because it seems like, Chris, the people like it, and this was cool. This was fun. We'll have plenty more on this one, man. I'm gonna log off here. I'm gonna get back to Columbia. I'm gonna watch the Braves beat the Mets, and I'm gonna shoot out some more content.
That sounds like a plan, man. Appreciate what you're doing. I'm gonna play us out here in just a minute. So I'll talk
Air
with you
guitar?
for a couple more minutes. No air guitar tonight. My wrist is hurting from too much typing and texting, and my ear hurts from being on the phone all day. It's been a good day.
Wild week, man.
It's been a wild one. So yeah, appreciate you, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you.
All right. That's Wes Mitchell. I've got him out of there a little bit too early. Whoops. He was still saying something. I'm sure he'll let me know about that later. Anyways, hey, appreciate y'all very much. Nathan Scipio joined my Gamecock Central subscription. Hey, appreciate you, Nathan. Yeah, Nathan, you're a primary reason why I get to do this for a living. So seriously, I appreciate you. We're glad to do it. Appreciate Wes for making the trip. Appreciate everybody for being on the stream tonight. Again, you might be saying, God, there's still a lot of people in here. You might be saying, I don't want Xzavier McLeod content to be done. I want to talk about it more. Come on over to the Insiders Forum on GamecockCentral.com. We will be there. If you're not a member, we would absolutely love to have you join the family, join the community, and lots of content related to Xzavier McLeod also on GamecockCentral.com right now. So thanks so much for joining us. Thanks to the folks at Liberty Tax. Thank you to Clint Hammond for being our presenting sponsor. We'll see everybody later. Appreciate it.